Welcome back to Restoration Marriage and Women's Ministry. My name is Linda. I want to thank you for checking out my channel. I hope that you will find it encouraging. Today I want to share on a topic I've written about how life lessons teach us about focus and perspective. All of life is about learning lessons. Even if you're way past school age, you're still learning. You're never too old to learn or too smart to know more. Most lessons are learned through trial and error. You win some and you lose some. But no matter what, you're learning from it all. One of the first lessons in life you learn is you will fall when you learn to walk. You also learn you have to keep getting back up if you ever want to learn to master the skill. You learn to keep putting one foot in front of the other, and you keep your eyes focused on where you're going. Another lesson you learn is do not touch something hot or you will get burned. Some things in life are pretty to look at, but they're not meant for you to touch. And some things aren't meant for you. Also, mirrors on the side of a vehicle say objects may be closer than they appear. That's true of a lot of things. It's about where your focus is and what you're focused on. If you've ever flown in a plane or been up really high in a tower, you know that things on the ground are larger than they actually appear from up high or in the sky. It's all about focus and perspective. You see, the size doesn't change. It's the way you look at the object that changes. It's easier to focus on the size of what you see in front of you than it is to look from a different perspective. The way we look at things may be totally different than the way someone else sees it. That's why it's so important to keep our focus on God. It is very important to ask God to show you from His perspective when you're facing something that feels or seems really big, or if it feels impossible to get past, or too difficult to get around, or too heavy to carry. Our perspective is often influenced by our feelings and our thoughts, but God's perspective isn't. God never changes. We may see something as terrible, but God may see it as an instrument to lead others to Him, to salvation, and to deliverance. We may see something as devastating, but He knows it's the only thing and the only way that is going to turn someone's life around. We often look at the end of things as something bad, but in reality, it could also be the beginning of something better. We live in the moment most of the time. We can't see what's up ahead, but God already knows, and He's already made provision for us. When we start to freak out about difficult things, when we should be praying for wisdom instead, God wants to lead us and guide us in everything we do and everywhere we go. God wants us to have the mindset of Christ. Instead of freaking out, He wants us to pray. He wants us to be like, God, I don't understand what you're doing, but I trust you. We're to pray, God, I need you. Please give me eyes to see, ears to hear, a heart willing to follow, and a mind to know what you want me to do in this situation. It's easy to get mad or frustrated with God for not answering our prayers when and how we think He should answer. But our plans are not God's plans. Even if God has made us a promise, it doesn't mean the promise is going to happen in our way or in our timing. We have limited vision. Think of it like this. When you're going somewhere, you cannot see all the way to where you're going. You can only see for some distance in front of you on the way there. But you still trust that road or path that you're on, or the GPS device that you're using will lead you where you need to go or where you're wanting to go. It's kind of the same with God, but better. It's better because He always knows where you are going, and He goes before you. He walks beside you, and He stands behind you, hemming you in. Every step of the way, every day, for the rest of your life. He will never leave you nor forsake you. He will never give up on you. He will never lead you the wrong direction, even when you aren't paying close attention, as you should be. He is still there. In times that you slip off the path, He's there waiting to catch you. He will lift you back up and dust you off. And if you're focusing on Him, you will hear His Spirit speak to your spirit, saying, "Child, you're going to be okay. I know you can do this. You will not be utterly cast down. Take my hand and I will lead you." God sees all and knows all. He sees and knows the beginning from the very end, before it ever even happens. He knows the thoughts we think before we ever even think them. God knows our every need before we do. We can trust in Him and His provision because He is always faithful. God and heaven are our ultimate destination. If we look to Him for guidance and follow His plans, we will make it to that destination at the right time and in the right way. Every life has meaning and purpose. If you will follow Him, He will lead you to it. No, it will not always be easy, but it will always be worth it in the end and for eternity. Bible verses on focus and perspective, guidance and protection. Psalm 121, Psalm 37:24, Proverbs 3, 5 and 6, Isaiah 58:11, John 14:26, Psalm 32:8, John 16:13, Isaiah 30:21, Psalm 139:5, Deuteronomy 31:8, Psalm 16:8, Psalm 91:14 through 16, Luke 12:4 through 7, 2 Corinthians 9:8, John 16:33. One of the books I've read related to this topic is Lord, Change My Attitude Before It's Too Late by James MacDonald. Thank you for checking out Restoration Marriage and Women's Ministry. I hope you have a wonderful day. God bless you.